Welcome to the Text2API demo. In this demo, we're going to translate from English into actual code. So imagine yourself writing code and you want to make a copy of a file. Your task is to read bytes from one file and write to another. We paste this description of what we want to do into our plugin, and it generates that code. Okay, so this code was not already present in a snippet. We know that, based on our English to code language model, that writing a file from one file to another is linked to these code elements. So first we open a file stream. You can see we're missing context. We don't actually know what the file name is, for example, because that wasn't specified in English here. So the developer could easily add that. Then we're writing out to another file. We need a byte array, and we loop through reading in each of the things and then writing them out. Okay. So we also generate a graph. So this is a graph of how we figured out that all of these code elements are linked together based on Graaln. So let's look at a little bit more of the details of how this actually happens. So again, you write what you want to do. We want to read bytes from one file, write them into another. This gets, when we hit OK, this gets put into our tool. It gets tokenized. We run some simple NLP stuff, removing stop words, finding the sort of the focus of the sentence as well. And we then use our language model that knows the mappings from English to code. So we processed a huge amount of Stack Overflow data to actually find out which code elements are related to which English words. And we use IBM1 in order to do this. Then we have our list of code elements that we think are useful, and we feed them into Graaln, which has a set of 500 Android applications that have been parsed, and it generates what it thinks is the most likely graph. And it can use subgraphs and combine them in new ways based on the code elements that we give it, so it's actually generating new code. So finally, we end up with our actual code, which can be used in the Eclipse IDE. So we've gone from a description of what we want to do, we want to read bytes from one file, write them into another, to actual code. There are some compile errors, but they're very easy to fix, like adding the actual file name. So now let's look at another example. So we'll go back to Eclipse. This time we're going to do location stuff. So we want to get the latitude and longitude when the GPS is not present. So again, we paste this description of what we want to do into our plugin, and it generates code. Now, you can see what it's decided to do. Because the GPS isn't present, it's going to get the last known location, and then if the GPS isn't actually available, it's just going to use that last known location. This would be useful, for example, if you were creating a weather application. The GPS is not enabled, but it's unlikely that you've gone to a completely new city, so the last GPS location is quite a useful thing, and you can still give the appropriate weather for that city. So I hope you've enjoyed our demo. Please check out our demo paper, which describes other examples. Thank you.